Oh, it's good fun. Well, here we are. Hello, YouTube. It's a little better. Not so dang dark. Mucho better. All right, we can get into the New Year's Eve evening's news. Go. All right. I gotta pull up my YouTube chat too. I got you guys on D Live already, but don't have our YouTube friends yet. Or Rumble. Okay. There it is. Oh man, that thumbnail's fantastic. Love it. All right. So, well, happy New Year's Eve to you all. Quite a year, I gotta say. 2025 really was something. Maybe not quite in any way, I guess, what we expected. But it really was quite a year. I think 2026 is gonna outdo even that. Hopefully in all the best ways. We shall see. They're gonna have to, again, if they want to remain in power after the midterms. Some real shit had better happen in 2026. They're talking the talk. Will they walk the walk? I don't know. We shall see. Well, let me see if I tagged anything first. First up. There's me in DC for Headline USA. I imagine that's already been played by other people, other hosts. I have to assume at some point over the last 12, 24 hours or whatever, so maybe we'll skip that. You guys will have to let me know if the majority of you've seen it yet or not. But I went to the pipe bomber hearing, and it was interesting. I actually caught the whole thing this time rather than the tail end like last time. It was good. Witnessed a few interesting moments. Okay, I know I did have some stuff tagged up in here. FBI allegedly has thwarted yet another New Year's Eve plot, arresting a Texas man who provided bomb-making materials, cryptocurrency, and instructions to someone who he thought was an ISIS supporter but was actually an agent.
Well, federal agents have arrested a Texas man for allegedly trying to help ISIS. The newly uncovered plot comes as DHS issues a warning urging people to remain vigilant during their New Year's Eve celebrations. Fox News team coverage now. David Spunt has more on the Trump administration's plan to step up security. But we begin with Brooke Taylor, live in Dallas on this Texas terror arrest. Brooke?
Hi, Jackie. Well, federal charges have been filed against this ISIS sympathizer here in Texas. So he's charged with trying to give bomb-making materials to an undercover FBI agent who was posing as an ISIS member. This investigation started back in October when an undercover NYPD officer flagged a social media account belonging to John Michael Garza Jr. The account followed several pro-ISIS pages and commented on ISIS posts. The undercover officers started talking with Garza, who described himself as a 21-year-old Mexican-American living in Texas. Over the course of 2 months, Garza sent ISIS media releases to the undercover agent, including videos of suicide bombings and instructional bomb-making videos. Prosecutors say he also sent small amounts of cryptocurrency to the agent, believing those funds would be used to buy guns and support ISIS. Last Monday, Garza agreed to meet a second person that he believed was an ISIS brother, but was really that FBI undercover agent. He allegedly handed over bomb materials to the agent and explained how to mix the chemicals. He was arrested shortly after that meeting and now faces a maximum of 20 years behind bars if he's convicted. Attorney General Pam Bondi sharing this statement, quote, ISIS's poisonous ideology must be ripped out root and stem. Anyone who tries to commit violence on ISIS's behalf will be found, arrested, and prosecuted. You cannot hide from us. And FBI Director Kash Patel also said, let this case serve as a reminder to anyone planning to attack the United States on behalf of a terrorist organization. You will be brought to justice, he said. Jackie.
Wow.
Well, all right then. Nick Shirley forced out of a Somali-owned business center in Minnesota while trying to locate a company called Advanced Mobility, while several Somali men abruptly escort him out as one angrily told him to go to a white business.
Get the fuck out of here, man.
I'm the daycare owner now. I'm the captain now.
Get the fuck out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
You cannot come in here. We don't care. We don't know where it is. Get out. That's not your job. We don't know that. Get out.
He's recording.
Get out of here. Fucking idiot. Hey.
They're recording. I didn't give him permission to record me.
No. Why you come here? Why you have permission? No. No. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Stop the camera. You have to stop the camera.
You have to stop the camera.
Stuff up. This is a lie. I don't care. Who do you work for? Who do you work for? No,
I'm the police because
who do you work for?
Nick Shirley.
I don't care about this guy. Who do you work for? Nick Shirley. I don't care about Nick Shirley.
That's who he's working for today. Nick Shirley.
Stop here.
Stop here. All business is stop here. Now you would you like to give a statement, sir? And see you guys say I can't film, but look at you guys filming. You can do that. You can film here.
Say, a statement is on the website, Advanced Mobility. This address is in the car. You don't care about the statement it's on there or what?
Where's Advanced Mobility at? That's all we're asking. This doesn't even exist.
Advanced Mobility? Doesn't exist?
White business, why not this white business?
Why? I grew up in Minneapolis. I don't have to go anywhere. Did you grow up here? Did you grow up here?
Why do you care?
I was born in Minneapolis. You're telling me to go
Go to the white business.
I grew up here. What?
White business.
Are you a
Go to white
racist?
business.
Are you a racist?
You're a racist. How?
Okay. I was looking at something. Molly Man has a profanity-laced meltdown at Nick Shirley and accuses him of trying to have Muslims taken to concentration camps. This is an especially crazy one. Oh, this one.
How are you doing, man?
I just want to ask you,
Yes, sir.
why are you sensationalizing the propaganda?
What are we sensationalizing?
To attack our community. What's your final objective?
We're not attacking your community by any means.
Are you making good money from
My
this?
final
We're looking
objective
for-
is all of the fraud stopping and all of you people leaving.
fraud.
No, I'm
For
not.
instance,
That's
can you
simple.
answer our question? Where's Safari Transportation Company 607?
1 second.
It's not there.
How much money are
Why don't
you?
answer the
How much
question,
money
where's
are you
617
making?
Dreamline Security.
How much money are you
I
making
make
off of
money off
this?
of YouTube. That's how I make my money.
Exactly. So you're making money off of sensationalizing
That's my job.
and attacking
is-
the Somali community.
I'm not attacking you guys. We're asking.
I'll tell you the reason why this is
Fraud, sir.
happening. All right. Let me tell you the reason why you're
Fraud is
attacking
fraud,
this.
correct?
Yes.
This has nothing to do with race. This is fraud.
This is
fraud.
absolutely has to do with us being Muslim.
No, it does not.
All right, and us being from Africa. This is a constitutional argument. If you don't want us here, change the freedom of religion. Say, listen, we don't want Muslims in this country anymore.
We're not saying.
No.
We're not
Because
saying that.
when I go
Sir,
onto your
we're
comment,
Broadly speaking, sir, you're right. We don't. We don't want that. But Nick Shirley's correct. That's not the case here. It's the fraud. It's the fraud. It's how disgusting it is. It's how open and brazen it is. The behavior, disgusting attitude of these people, the pervasiveness of it. That's what it is.
It's not fraud.
when I go onto your comments,
My comments-
what I see is people that say we do not want Muslims here. Kick every single Muslim in Minnesota out of Minnesota.
That's a comment.
You're
That's not
preparing for the Somali community to maybe be taken to concentration camps, just like the Japanese community. All right, you're sensationalizing.
No, we're not.
All right,
Sir,
something that
answer
can
the
listen.
question. Where-
That's something that
where
can
is the transportation
something that
vehicle
can
company?
jeopardize
Answer the
the
question.
safety and the protection of the
This is
Somali
fraud.
community.
We're talking
If
about
anything
fraud.
happens to the Somali
We're talking about
community, listen,
fraud.
I'm not doing anything. I'm not physically touching
You're
you.
getting very close.
I'm not physically
You're
touching
very
you.
close.
No, I'm not physically touching you.
This is fraud.
What
We're
you're
talking about
doing,
fraud.
what you're doing,
fraud.
when I go into your comments,
You're defending fraud.
people who hate Muslims, want us
can-
out of here
people can say
for
what they
being
want. I'm not
Muslim,
censoring
are
anybody.
using your material. Islamophobes use your material. People who hate Islam use your material. Say to us.
That sounds like a you problem and not a me problem. Maybe you should think about fixing your behavior and putting your so-called community in check.
We don't want you here.
Okay.
Change the Constitution.
Okay, we
But
got
guess
you.
what? Let me tell you something. Guess what?
Say it. We're asking about
You know,
fraud.
what you
asking
do.
about fraud.
You hate Muslims.
I'm not saying I
You hate
Muslims.
you know
We're
you
talking
hate
about fraud.
Muslims.
We're talking
Why are you
about fraud.
attacking us? Are we the only
fraud.
community that suffers because of fraud?
We're talking about
Are we
fraud.
the only community that does fraud? Are we
No. But you sure do it well.
the only community that does this?
This is about fraud.
All right, but there's what 300 Somali providers in all of Minnesota?
There's actually.
I'm not. Don't touch me. Is there, do you speak English? Right?
This part is really
doesn't even
nuts.
speak English. Listen, let me tell you something.
See, this isn't a race issue.
Listen,
sir.
let me
This
say
is about
something.
fraud.
We have what 1,000 providers?
Yeah, you guys have a.
Even it's 2,000 providers.
Nope.
You
Sir.
want to sacrifice the safety of
Sir.
80,000 people
We're not
because of fucking 2,000 providers?
2,000 providers that are sucking up how many billions of dollars from an already not very sizable state? What the how is that not a problem, sir? I guess we all ought to just sit there and twiddle our thumbs and say, oh well, I guess they need the money, you know. Oh well.
Are you fucking mad?
Enough.
Are you stupid?
I'm not stupid. You're stupid.
You're sen-
I'd rather the Somalis get billions and billions of our dollars than one Somali possibly get hurt or even looked at the wrong way as a result of this. Yes, I agree, sir.
What about if a mass shooting happens in Minnesota? It will be because of you. It will be because of you. If any Somali gets hurt,
Now he's preemptively blaming mass shootings that haven't happened on Nick Shirley.
in Minnesota, it's because of Nick fucking Shirley. If any Somali, if one single Somali gets hurt,
This is about fraud.
it's because of
Now,
you.
if any Somali gets hurt in any way whatsoever, no matter the situation, it's Nick Shirley's fault.
Sensationalizes, you son of a bitch. Sensationalizes.
Wow, you're
Get the
very
fuck
nice.
out of our neighborhood.
Very nice.
Get
I think he just learned the word sensationalized today.
the fuck out of our neighborhood.
Looked on phonics.
Can you tell me where the
Get the fuck out of our neighborhood. We
Quality leering.
don't want you here.
Oh, your neighborhood.
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. You want to sensationalize? You want to clicks? You want clicks? You want clicks? You got clicks. You want clicks? You want YouTube? You wanted YouTube clicks? You got YouTube clicks. Now get the fuck out of our community.
Tell me where the
Get the
transportation
fuck out of our community.
Tell me where the
You stupid racist motherfucker. Say I don't want Muslims here. Say I don't want Muslims here. Say
I don't want Muslims here.
it. Say
I don't.
I want to change the Constitution,
No, I don't.
and I want to change freedom of religion, and I don't want Muslim Somalis in Minnesota. Kick them out. I was born in
Certainly not those kind of Muslims, anyway. I mean, shit. You're not doing the greatest job of representing your so-called community, sir. I gotta say.
this country. You have to take the passport away from me. That is what you are arguing for.
We're not talking.
Change the Constitution. Fuck you. Get the fuck out of my community. Get the fuck out of our community. Get the fuck out of our community. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Stupid fucking idiot.
Yeah, told you it was bad. Oh, meanwhile, elsewhere in Bellevue, Washington this time, patriotic Americans getting fed up with illegals stealing things. So they're going up to them and stealing them back. They're stealing these stolen items back from them right after they've already been stolen. This man has just stolen a pretty little baggie full of alcohol.
Ain't no stealing beer today, hombre.
Ain't no stealing beer today, hombre.
Are you sorry?
Sorry, I paid.
Why you
Love it.
sorry?
I don't get no money.
You're not sorry?
That's the second time we caught him.
5 beers?
That's the second time we caught him.
He's sorry?
Yeah.
You're not sorry. You do this every fucking day.
That's the second time.
Illegal
Disgusting.
piece of shit come and steal his blind, you fuck.
You fuck. That's the attitude that we need right there. That's what we need. Is there more? Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Squeeze that in. Dumplings. All right. Okay. Is that all I had? Oh, no. Look at this. Here we go. Fascinating. This is a report from a local news station, Fox 9, which I think has done some recent reporting on the latest round of Somali fraud. This is a report they did back in 2013, so over a decade ago, exposing Somali daycare fraud.
Not difficult to see a pattern of what's going on.
What is going on?
It's terrible how it's misused.
We spent 3 months digging through records, doing surveillance, talking with insiders
It's big, it's bigger than I think the state realizes.
to expose a scheme that's costing tens of thousands of taxpayer dollars a week.
It's a lot of work, and you have to make sure that, everything's following the rules.
Yasmin Ali is the owner of DEC Family Centers. This is her giving a tour to an undercover Fox 9 producer.
For a lot of people that we work with that are low-income families,
Ali tells our producer that many of her customers are on assistance. They qualify to have the government pay for their kids' child care. They can get that help if they're working, training for a job, or hunting for one.
I think it's doing a disservice to the people that truly do need childcare assistance.
We interviewed 4 DECO employees who have intimate knowledge of the operation. They've also shared information with government fraud investigators. 2 agreed to talk on camera as long as we disguised them.
So they were misrepresenting a lot of what was going on there.
Exactly.
According to our sources, DECO was actively recruiting women who qualify for child care assistance and offering them jobs at the centers, some to watch their own kids. A fact these moms confirmed to us.
Wait,
Hello. Do you work
what?
here?
They're getting paid to watch their own children?
How many children do you have? 2? And the children come here as well?
yeah.
Who pays for their child care?
For the child care money,
Yes. The county.
DECO then bills the county for child care while the moms are supposedly working.
Were these legitimate jobs or not?
No, there were too many that were being hired. We didn't even need that many.
Our informants tell us that only a small percentage of the moms did anything.
2%. 2%.
Did some kind of work.
Did some kind of work. Sometimes they would come in, sign their children in, sign themselves in, and go grocery shopping.
Our sources say the more children a woman had to enroll in child care, the more she'd make per hour, even though she had the same job title as all the other moms.
The reason for that is because then they had more assistance for each of the families.
On numerous occasions, we saw lots of women coming to the centers, each with 4, 5, or more kids in tow.
Her value was in how many children she had.
According to government records, DECO's Minneapolis and St. Paul centers were each eligible to receive nearly $50,000 in child care assistance funds every 2 weeks. Do the math. That's over $2 million a year.
They're making a ton of money.
According to our insiders, timesheets were submitted to the county which inflated the hours the moms actually spent in the centers, allowing DECO to bill the government for maximum child care time.
So they'd fix the time schedule.
Correct.
A lot of women they did this for?
Yes.
State inspection reports obtained by the Fox 9 investigators show DECO has previously been cited for a number of logistical problems, including a lack of keeping accurate records of when staff worked. They were also fined for failing to do background checks on employees in order to provide documented proof that staff members received mandated safety training.
While employed there, I saw falsifying documentation.
So the record showed they'd received this training, but in fact they had not.
Correct.
I stopped by DECO's Apple Valley office to speak with owner Yasmin Ali. She wouldn't go on camera, but I did record our conversation.
We're told that you were falsifying records to get child care money.
That's not true, but as I say, I'm not going to have any comments right now.
In addition to all the funds for child care, DECO was also getting public money for kids' meals. The Minneapolis Center got nearly $90,000 for food in its first year of operation. This place did the catering. It's owned by Yasmin Ali's brothers.
We obtained a copy of the catering contract signed by Adarus Ali. We've seen his signature before on federal court documents. In 2009, Ali pled guilty to perjury. The Justice Department says he lied to a federal grand jury, testified he knew nothing about Somali men from Minnesota being recruited by a terrorist group to fight in their homeland, when in fact, he sat in on a discussion and even drove some of the men to Twin Cities International for their flight to Somalia. Ali did not respond to numerous requests by the Fox 9 investigators for
Been going on right out in the open for clearly well over a decade. Doing the same exact things. Same shit. Even bothered changing their scheme. It's been exposed that a network of assisted living facilities are still getting millions of dollars from taxpayers in Minnesota, despite the owner being an indicted fraudster. They're still getting money.
As an assisted living facility, and it receives a lot of taxpayer money. Here in Minnesota, the number of people getting help in assisted living facilities is up, double the growth of other programs. But here's the kicker. The rate of payment in this assisted living space is 10 to 15 times the growth in other programs.
Hi.
So we pulled the data on assisted living facilities in the Minneapolis area. Minneapolis, as you might expect, has a lot, 169. St. Paul, with a population of 307,000, has 83. But Brooklyn Center, 30,000 population, has 106. And Brooklyn Park, population of 84,000, has 181, more than Minneapolis, a city 5 times its size. But this assisted living facility puts this all in perspective. It's owned by a man indicted for laundering $1 million in the Feeding Our Future scam. He's Gandhi Mohammed, now Gandhi Abdi Kadai, and his LLC owns the homes. His wife runs the assisted living facilities, and the state is continuing to pay as he awaits his trial. Okay. We went to each of them.
We're curious because the man who owns this building was indicted in the Feeding Our Future scandal. Did you know that?
No.
Don't know that?
No. You think what?
Do you know the Feeding Our Future scandal? The scam that was, there's all these indictments related to false, billing on feeding children.
No, that's not true.
That it's not true?
It's not true. The way I know her, no.
These assisted living facilities received over $2.3 million in state money last year alone. A Minnesota Reformer article says he has been paid a whopping $49 million since 2016.
How is it possible that this person who's been indicted in Feeding Our Future also is still collecting checks from the state, running these assisted living centers with his wife?
I honestly have no idea. It seems like the most basic due diligence would have been to run a check of all the people indicted in Feeding Our Future and then make sure they're not getting paid from other state programs. And at least in this case, and I've heard perhaps in others, they didn't do that.
State Representative Kristen Robbins is the chair of the House Fraud and Oversight Committee here.
So this person owns assisted living facilities and his wife runs the service provider part of it. So he owns the property. One of the properties was purchased with the same shell company he used to money launder in Feeding Our Future. And now that same shell company has been used to buy a new assisted living facility property. It's unconscionable that they haven't done the most basic due diligence to cross-check that Feeding Our Future defendants aren't getting additional state money.
Now, we reached out to this man and his wife and yet to hear back. We also reached out to the Department of Human Services here, and they gave us a statement. In part, it basically says, ultimately, they can't cut funding from this guy because he is simply a landlord, essentially because his wife runs the services for these assisted living facilities, essentially kind of passing the buck.
Yeah, Rich, when you think about the potential money that was squandered instead of helping people that need it, it really is so hard to comprehend. Excellent investigative reporting. Rich McHugh on the ground in Minnesota. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below.
This is wow. Apparently, this guy, the manager of the Quality Leering Center.
Am I going crazy, or is
this guy, the dumb-looking one, right here, who's interviewed out front? Apparently, this guy was also seen at Jacob Free's election party, dancing around behind him like an idiot.
a doppelganger who happens to look just like him that lives in the very same city he lives in? Or he could be one of the Somali community leaders who is working with local electeds to keep some of these fraud schemes going.
Gee.
But that would just be crazy, right? I could be totally wrong to assume this, but he's got a very unique face and hairline.
Put out a certain message about a certain group.
I mean, he looks so similar to this guy going... I mean, hypothetically speaking, it would make sense that someone running a fraudulent business would have a vested interest in who is in control politically in the city where they are running said fraudulent business. And Jacob Frey is no stranger to simping for Somalia. Hell, he even puts out campaign videos in Somali for
Maaga Egawa Jacob Fry, Doke Magalada, Minneapolis.
And the cherry on top is that Governor Tim Walz, after being radio silent, finally comes out and puts out a statement days later, just a few minutes ago. And what does he do? He blames Trump. Trump keeps letting fraudsters out of prison. I'm curious, do you guys think this is the same guy? Because if I was the DOJ, I would be getting to know Ibrahim very well right now.
Yeah, wow. Okay. That's all there. Down we go to this morning here. Here we are. Oh, there's so much going on today. Oh, they're projecting a 250 up there for the party tonight, huh? Nice. Pretty. Kind of creepy name. The Illumination of America. Pink blizzard blankets north central Iowa, turning snowfall rosy. What the? What did it like happen at sunset? And everything pink. Dude, that's freaky. Wow.
Well, if you notice pink skies tonight, you were not alone. This was taken by Billy Glenn in Ames earlier today. Now, the clouds thinned just enough to allow those last rays of daylight to glow in the snowflakes that were still flying around
Makes sense.
at the time. So, Jason, it's been a while since we've seen pink clouds. We've seen just about everything today. We've got rain this morning, and we've had ice and snow and wind and pink clouds.
Yeah, thank you, sunset, right?
Border Commander Greg Bovino confirming more than 10,000 ICE and border agents are going to be hired and deployed in 2026.
It's going to be a big year, a very big year. We've got a lot of operations planned, whether that's ICE, Border Patrol, and those allied law enforcement teams all across the United States, whether it's Minnesota and the fraud, or Charlotte, North Carolina, Chicago, Los Angeles. Those operations continue, and we're going to ramp that up. You know, we've got 10,000 new ICE agents coming on board, several thousand U.S. Border Patrol agents coming on board, and that morale is high. We've got a mission, and we're going to go after that mission. We're not going anywhere. 2026 is going to be huge. It's going to be a big year.
I don't know why it's only 10,000. I feel like it should probably be a lot more than that. Especially considering they had like 200,000 something applicants just for ICE alone. Well, I don't know. I mean, I know that costs money and there's hurdles that have to be overcome to do that, but still, you would think we're certainly going to need more than that.
Sure, as we conduct operations, whether that operation is based on intelligence or targeting, we're going to go after those targets and we're going to act on that intelligence. Tommy, if there are other illegal aliens at or near that operation, they're going to be arrested. Illegal immigration is not a victimless crime, and we don't treat it as such. Being an illegal alien is that you cross the border illegally, you made the choice to cross the border illegally, and you get no free pass. Times are different now, you get no free pass. So if we come into contact with an illegal alien in any of these operations, they're going to go to jail and or be deported.
And again, to your point, Greg,
Sure, as we conduct
I think we played all these this morning. Fun. Yeah, that was the last one we did. All right. Somalian immigrant named Abdi Daisane is running for Minnesota state representative as a Democrat, and you'll never believe this. Oh, he owns a daycare in Minnesota.
Meet Abdi. He is running for Minnesota House District
Unreal.
14A. And I bet you'll never guess what type of business Abdi owns. Blooming Kids Childcare. And I did a little little research on Blooming Kids, and they have quite the laundry list of violations as well, just like the other ones that we were looking at. And over the years, they've been violated for no first aid kits, unsanitary conditions, not complying with CPR regulations, no supervision for the kids, not operating within the terms of their license. They never submitted their DHS background study when requested. Children were subjected to prohibited disciplinary actions, no furnishings, no equipment, no materials, and no supplies. No documents to show that the teachers were qualified to do the job. Same violations happen over and over and over. No immunization records for any of the children. Not enough staff. So I'm not able to see how much money that this particular daycare center is getting from the state or the federal government, because that needs to be done by somebody who has access to that information, which I don't. I did look up his campaign fund donations, and he's not getting any from any daycare center. So if somebody can tag Nick Shirley, let him know that he should probably look into this one too.
Jump to the next one here. Sorry, I was reading in chat. We saw those this morning. Yeah, this guy in Philly's doing his own. This one I don't think we played.
So let's get into it, and I know that this is going to ruffle some feathers, but I don't give a fuck. Go get your Somalian sisters over in Minnesota, yelling at people and cussing them out because they're getting caught for fraud in full hijab. This is telling people they don't like them because their skin is white in full hijab. Kicking people off the property at a mosque because they're investigating allegedly at the mosque in Minnesota. It's mostly a Somalian community. So they were basically reports from Somalian women that they were enforcing Sharia law at the mosque in Minnesota. So the government went in to investigate. However, it was not founded. But also none of the Somalian women or the community will speak. But when these people go there and ask if they can put their kids in daycares, they are met with the utmost resistance. The Somalian community is being very disrespectful. There's hundreds of videos online in full hijab. I just want to ask them there, all the people want to know is, where did the billions of dollars go? I'm sorry, I got on here and said 3 million before. It's over that. It's 100 million. They said it's almost in the billions, the fraud in Minnesota from the Somali community.
It's in the multi-billions. Okay.
Where did the money go? Where did the money go? Because there's people right now in New Jersey and in the United States that cannot get child care because you guys are siphoning $100 million from the government for a daycare Ponzi scheme. One of the daycares now, we did do some research, one of the daycares was shut down. They had hellish strikes against them for negligence to children and whatever, one of the Somalian daycares. So the state shut them down. They all have crazy violations at these daycares, even the ones that are still open. But don't worry, I'm going to do my own investigative work today. I'll be calling those daycares to see if I can enroll my children, to see if there's really kids there, to see if they're really operating as a daycare. All right, thanks for having me.
I don't know what she's doing. She really likes playing with the Zoom feature. It's fun. You know. Good for her, though. It's good. Get it done. Former Assistant FBI Director Chris Swecker weighs in on security prep ahead of New Year's Eve.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen cities across the world actually cancel events in Paris and Sydney and Tokyo. And I agree with her. You know, we're not going to bend the knee to terrorist activities. There's always been a high terrorist threat around New Year's and the holidays. And we're coming off of New Orleans last year, where we had a very violent event. There was a plot in California by a homegrown group that was planning a New Year's Eve attack So the threat exists, and we've got that third wheel here of the domestic terrorist threat that some politicians are actually encouraging with anti-ICE, anti-everything out there. But yeah, hey, we're telling people just be aware.
Oh, this guy looks like a half Chinese George Bush or something.
And be alert. Don't stay in your homes if because of this. This hype on the terrorist threat. I mean, it's not just hype, but there's plenty of security out there, especially in New York City, Chicago, D.C., L.A. I mean, those cities will be virtual fortresses. So if you see something, you say something. If somebody leaves a box or a backpack or something just laying on the ground, or something just raises the hair on the back of your neck, just walk up to the security guard or a police officer and just tell them what's going on and what your suspicions are, and let them take care of it.
DHS Assistant Secretary McLaughlin urges Americans to be vigilant as they celebrate New Year.
We're working very.
If you're in a big city and you're thinking of going out celebrating anywhere with large amounts of people, well, first of all, I would reconsider that notion and maybe think about not doing that.
Closely with local and state law
If you are, I would not drink heavily. Keep your wits about you.
enforcement, but Americans are going to continue to go out and celebrate. That's what we want. We're Americans. We don't bend the knee to these terrorist organizations, and so we're going to continue to be safe and vigilant.
Ah, nice. Highway patrol trooper had to perform a pit maneuver where the officer nudges the rear of a moving vehicle to make it spin and stop driving to get a sleepy driver off the road in Oklahoma. Someone literally sleeping while driving. Just coasting down the highway, huh? Probably had one of those auto steer features, like auto drive or autopilot kinda, but it's like only for highway driving, and doesn't have like the full feature set that the Tesla stuff does. Like my pop's Subaru has it. It'll kind of like if you're wandering out of the lane, it'll lightly kind of steer you back. That's all it does, though.
A different kind of rescue on the road played out in Oklahoma.
This person is either completely asleep or passed out.
The Kia going 40 miles per hour, slowly drifting within his
there's the lane correction.
lane. The driver not responding to the trooper's lights and sirens. The trooper ultimately performing a
Freaking lane correction, man. It's the only thing that kept him on the road. That's crazy.
pit maneuver to stop the car.
He's woke up.
The driver later told police he had worked nearly 20 hours in a 24-hour period and had activated his car's lane assist feature before driving home.
Lane assist. Yep. Lane assist and cruise control, man. It'll get you if you're tired. Gotta watch out. Street in Columbus, Ohio, Mohammed Abdullah Hassan Lane. This is the Somalian warlord, celebrated by Somalis everywhere. The one who waged jihad against Britain and Italy, causing 200,000 deaths. They love this guy. They love him.
magaca saad aragtaanba hadda kadib haddii aad magaalada Columbus Ohio aad ku nooshahay marka halkan aad soo marayso waxaad arki doontaa magaca sayidka oo tabeelahaasi uu ku xardhay.
You're never going to guess what happened when Rich McHugh from News Nation went knocking on the door of several assisted living facilities in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. I'm guessing it didn't go well.
This may look like your typical single-family home, but it bills itself as an assisted living facility, and it receives a lot of taxpayer money. Here in Minnesota, the number of people getting help in assisted living facilities is up, double the growth of other programs. But here's the kicker. The rate of payment in this assisted living space is 10 to 15 times the growth in other programs. Hi. So we pulled the data on assisted living facilities in the Minneapolis area. Minneapolis, as you might expect, has a lot, 169. St. Paul, with a population of 307,000, has 83. But Brooklyn Center, 30,000 population, has 106. And Brooklyn Park, population of 84,000, has 181 more than Minneapolis, a city 5 times its size. But this assisted living facility puts this all in perspective. Its own
Hold on, let me see that shit again.
population of 84,000 has 181 more than Minneapolis.
Wow, okay. Population versus number of assisted living facilities. That's smart. I was thinking of trying to find similar data in my area on the number of like home health care companies and similar like autism learning centers and all that stuff. I'm trying to see if anything stands out around here.
Minneapolis, a city 5 times its size. But this assisted living facility puts this all in perspective. It's owned by a man indicted for laundering $1 million in the Feeding Our Future scam. He's Gandhi Mohammed, now Gandhi Abdi Kadai, and his LLC owns the homes. His wife runs the assisted living facilities, and the state
still getting that money.
Is continuing to pay as he awaits his trial.
Sick. Alpha News reporters visit autism and adult daycare centers as Medicare fraud concerns mount. Prompted by a flood of tips from readers about facilities that tipsters say do not appear to be providing services, Alpha News reporters Liz Collins and Jenna Globe visited more than a dozen autism centers and adult daycare businesses across the Twin Cities during posted business hours on Monday, December 15th. Just 4 of the locations have received nearly $7 million combined in taxpayer funds since 2020. Wow. Vacant rooms and autism therapy centers with no children present were among the findings as reporters examined concerns raised by tipsters. No children were observed at any of the autism centers visited. Only a few workers and a small number of elderly women were seen at the adult daycare facilities. Many of the locations seemed empty. Yep. In fact, after I get off the air here, I'm going to go do a little boots on ground scoping out of a few certain locations near me where these people congregate. I'm going to see if I find any stuff like this. There's a whole like industrial center. None of the shit shows up on Google Maps, but like there's tons of these little offices back there. I'm going to be going back there. See what I find. One of the things that I found in my research is that, as I mentioned the other day, the DC, Northern Virginia area is like the number 4 spot for Somalis in the USA. It's like the number 4 hotspot. The population officially sits at roughly like, what did they say, like 5,000 to 7,000, but not that many, you would think. I see, I just based on what I see, I can tell you it's more than that. And based on what I found, it sounds like even the local Somali leaders themselves estimate the actual numbers to be many times that, possibly up above 30,000. Like 5 to 6 times higher or more. They're fudging the census. They're bringing their relatives in under questionable means, you know, overstaying green cards. It's a popular one. And they pile them all in these fucking apartment buildings and these little condos, these little houses, shitholes they stay in, fucking 10 to a room, and just don't report any of it on the census. No, I'm full. They were delicious. Good. All right. Yeah. I ate a shitload of dumplings. I'm full. I must ate like 10, 11. Yeah, I ate a whole bunch of them. Oh, dude. A whole bunch of them. He's like, why didn't you eat? Why didn't you eat? No, I ate a shitload. The streets are sealed off in New York City's Times Square, where more than 1 million people are expected to watch the ball drop. in the midst of all these warnings about something bad possibly happening.
Well, the streets are sealed off here in Times Square, and tonight's celebration will mark 122 years of the ball drop. The NYPD has a host of measures in place to monitor the big event.
More than 1 million people are expected to pack the streets of Times Square tonight to ring in the new year. And while most eyes will be on the ball drop at midnight, some will be on these screens inside the New York Police Department's Joint Operations Center. It's where the police, FBI, and other counterterrorism teams will be working in unison to monitor security across New York City. Their resources ready to detect threats from guns to radiation bombs.
The public should expect to see thousands of NYPD officers deployed throughout Times Square and the surrounding area. Our helicopters and our drones will also be deployed during the day to provide comprehensive coverage in real time.
While the NYPD says there are no credible threats to the event this year, the department says it's rampant.
Boy, those guys look like they're doing their job vigilantly.
Credible threats to the
That one, these are both on their cell phone.
Event.
These two appear to be arguing with each other about something.
This year.
Really looking out. Really looking out for the people, guys.
The department says it's ramping up security. Officers will now be screening people even beyond the main points of entry as an additional measure, with metal detector checks inside the secure viewing areas.
We will have mobile screening teams walking around the pens, and if we see anything that looks suspicious, we will have teams in place.
Well, can't wait for tonight, man.
FBI considers the biggest.
I'm gonna try to join some of the. Let's see, we got the mag. We have tonight. Today is Wednesday. Okay. I know we're gonna have a bunch of people on roundtable throughout the rest of the evening tonight as we near midnight. I'm gonna try to pop in for some of that at some point, but
threats to the New Year's Eve celebration to be lone wolf actors and small groups operating on behalf of extremist organizations.
People come here to bring in the new year.
People don't get it, man. They don't understand. Like, it is, to be perfectly honest, something of a miracle that something really, really bad has not happened. I mean, of course, we've had plenty of sprinklings of small ones all over the place, you know, every freaking month. But nothing really big. I mean, really big. Watched an interesting movie the other day about some attacks overseas. Highly recommend people watch. Hotel Mumbai, about the 2008 or 2009, I forget, terrorist attacks in which 10 guys, 10, terrorized the entire city of Mumbai for 3 days. 3 days at multiple different locations, days on end, and killed, I don't even know how many people. Hundreds, was it? 10 guys created absolute havoc in one of the largest cities in the world for days on end. That was done by some Pakistani terror org. And we have, I mean, how many untold numbers of peoples from untold numbers of different countries just everywhere, scattered all over our country. Yeah. So how many people died in this? That's the movie. Where's the yeah, the Taj Hotel attacks. 2008 it was. November 26, 2008. 175 people dead, including 9 of the attackers, and 300 plus injured. 10 guys. 3 fucking days. They didn't even have special forces like a SWAT team in the city. They had to fly them in from hours outside, and yet it somehow still took 3 days. Crazy stuff. But the movie's excellent. It's very well done. Just as a piece of entertainment. There it is. Forget where you can watch it. You can watch it for free on Tubi. There you go. I remember where I watched it, but yeah, check it out. It's very competently made film. It is actually one of the better films I've seen lately. Very intense. And it is in English, with the sprinkling of other languages throughout, but mostly in English. All right, next up, shocking new footage from a 2018 Minnesota state fraud case. So yet another one from years back. Reveals parents dropping off their children at a daycare only to leave with those children moments later. They brought them in and then brought them right back out. Checked them in for daycare, I'm sure. 2015 surveillance video obtained by Fox 9, another one, I guess, shows parents signing in their kids so providers could bill the state for full days of care for children who never actually attended. On some days, no children showed up at all. Yet the daycares still claim government reimbursements, the outlet reported. So exactly what's alleged to be going on right now. That they're swearing up and down they don't do. And, oh, they would never do.
In order for the scheme to work, the daycare centers need to sign up low-income families that qualify for child care assistance funding. These surveillance videos are from a case prosecuted by Hennepin County. They show parents checking their kids into a center only to leave with them a few minutes later. Sometimes no children would show up. But either way, the center would bill the state for a full day of child care. This video from that same case shows a man handing out envelopes of what are believed to be kickback payments to parents who are in on the fraud.
Where was the money going? I don't know exactly where it went, but...
In order for the scheme to work, the daycare centers need to sign up low-income families that qualify for child care.
Yep. Auckland, New Zealand welcomes in the new year with a fireworks display over its tallest building, the Sky Tower. Famous Sky Tower. Boy, it looks like a giant needle injecting spike protein. Wow! Yay! Cool display though, not bad. Needle imagery aside.
All right, let's take
Australia.
You live to Sydney, Australia, where the 2025, the ringing of 2025 is about to begin. Some of the world's largest fireworks display. For the first time ever, the fireworks are going to come from both east and west of the famous harbour, Sydney Harbour Bridge there. Darkness now, won't be in about 10 seconds time. Let's watch.
Wow. Dang, man. Okay. That was really something. Yeah, they know how to do it, man. That was crazy. That's pretty cool.
It's going to come from both.
I gotta see that again.
East and west of the famous harbour, Sydney Harbour Bridge there.
I did the countdown on both sides.
Won't be in about 10 seconds time. Let's watch.
Man, what a view that... See that airplane flying in? What a view they're getting. That's pretty cool. Neat. Always enjoy a good fireworks show. Lord of Mercy. Democrats, can you stop making the cringe videos? You look ridiculous. Who now? Oh, it's Cory Booker. Complete with crazy eyes.
100%. 100%. That is the percentage of your worst days ever.
You can practically see the homosexual energy just emanating off of him.
That you made it through. Keep going.
Speaking of, here's Eric Swalwell. Enjoy.
I want you to hear from me first. I'm going on offense against Donald Trump, and I just put senior Trump officials on notice. Donald Trump, once again, is trying to weaponize the Department of Justice to go after his enemies list. That's me, Adam Schiff, Tish James.
Oh, yeah, you're such a big threat, big boy.
And Lisa Cook. But I'm not happy.
So scary.
Why is he doing this? Because we had the nerve to stand up to his corruption. Susie Wiles just admitted this in Vanity Fair. She said that when Donald Trump sees an opportunity for retribution, he, quote, goes for it. So yes, the allegation.
I mean, yeah, he does.
Allegations that Bill Pulte has launched against me and others are nonsense. My lawsuit against Donald Trump and his team is not. So we just sent a letter to Susie Wiles telling her, save your shit. Your emails, your text messages, everything that records or documents Donald Trump going after his political enemies, save it because we're coming for it. Because we want the truth. What did Trump know? What did he order? What did others do?
Yeah, but you guys tried that for like the last 4 years and it fizzled.
On his behalf.
But okay, have fun. White House revamp in Lego. What is this?
It's been quite the year at the White House. Have you seen what Donald Trump's been up to? Because love him or loathe him, this proud global disruptor has been busy in his backyard too. In the Rose Garden, in the East Wing, on the South Lawn, and in the Oval Office. It's been more a year of destruction than disruption. It was the flag.
I wonder what they used to make this. It's fun.
First, 2 whopping new polls raised in June.
I've just been playing around with some Adobe's animation software with my daughter. She's into that, the animation and stuff. That's really fun.
The North and the South Lawns.
2 flags, top of the line.
Sorely needed for hundreds of years, said the president, who we're told paid for them out of his own back pocket. Now, what's the most iconic part of the White House? The Oval Office? I'll get to that. But first, what about the Rose Garden? Well, it's gone. Yes, in July.
Are they going to show the, where's the ballroom? You can show the ballroom?
It suggests that it will look something like this. So
that is chunky.
Big, so incongruous, so out of proportion, and yet so on brand for President Donald J. Trump.
Yeah, they make a big deal about how big he wants it to be. Bigger than the existing White House itself, which I'm sure it's going to look a little awkward, I guess, but I'm not opposed to a gigantic ballroom. I think I'd rather it be as big as humanly possible. I want it to be impressive. Where all of the country's most important events will end up being held, most important diplomacy. I want that to be impressive as it gets. I want it to fit as many people as possible. I think it's going to be really something when it's done. Body cam footage shows a semi-truck rolling off an icy Ohio highway. Moments later, as a first responder approaches, a pickup truck loses control at the exact same spot, narrowly missing the trooper, who thankfully escaped unharmed. Dear God.
You got your ID on you?
No! Hey, so semi rollover 31A, DEC en route.
Bro, that was... What the fuck?
You got your ID on you?
Hey, so semi-rollover 31A.
Wow.
I almost got hit by a truck. Watch out!
Oh my gosh, someone else? Oh man, there goes the pickup. Jeez. And then another?
I almost got hit by a truck. Another 31.
Alright, did you advise you were struck?
Over 31A. DEC and Madison route.
Jeez.
Jason, watch out!
Oh man. And then I guess another one comes hauling right at him here. Good golly. Thankfully, everyone was okay. Somehow, these guys tumbled off the edge of that ledge and walked away unharmed. Thank God.
Are you alright, sir? She may be a little bit jarred. I feel okay.
Wow, man. Tatiana Schlossberg, the granddaughter of President John F. Kennedy. Aw. That's sad. Dead at age 35 after a battle with leukemia. In November, she revealed her diagnosis in an emotional essay in The New Yorker.
Learned today that...
So this is Jack Schlossberg's mom, or...
Tatiana Schlossberg has died, the granddaughter of President John F. Kennedy, daughter of Caroline Kennedy. She revealed her leukemia diagnosis in The New Yorker last month, penning an emotional essay about preserving memories for her children and the sadness over bringing more loss into her mother's life. Here's ABC's Mola Langhi.
Tonight, the Kennedy family mourning again. Tatiana Schlossberg, daughter of Caroline Kennedy Schlossberg and granddaughter of President John F. Kennedy, has died after losing her battle to a rare form of leukemia.
Oh.
The 35-year-old environmental journalist, wife, and mother revealing her diagnosis last month in the New Yorker.
God, that's sad.
Writing, "For my whole life, I have tried to be good, to be a good student and a good sister and a good daughter, and to protect my mother and never make her upset or angry. Now, I have added a new tragedy to her life, to our family's life, and there's nothing I can do to stop it. It's yet another heartbreak for her family, and especially for her mother, who has endured a lifetime of loss. Caroline's father, President John F. Kennedy, assassinated when Caroline was just 5 years old. 5 years later, her uncle, Robert F. Kennedy, assassinated too.
Yeesh.
And then Caroline's younger brother, JFK Jr., along with his wife, Caroline Bessette Kennedy, killed in 1999 when the small plane JFK Jr. was piloting crashed in foggy weather off Martha's Vineyard. Well, with the JFK Library Foundation issuing a statement tonight saying, "Our beautiful Tatiana passed away this morning. She will always be in our hearts." In addition to her mother and father, Tatiana is survived by her husband, her 2 young children, as well as her brother and sister, Whit.
This was nuts. I saw this the other day. Apparently $400,000 worth of frozen lobster bound for Costco was stolen in a truck heist.
Almost $400,000 worth of live lobsters were stolen from a
live lobster, okay.
shipping facility in Massachusetts. This happened last week. CEO of Logistics Industry Trade Group said that the thief pretended.
Like, what are you going to do with that?
Should be working for a real trucking company.
What are you going to do with $400K worth of live lobster? What the is there a black market for that?
Transportation Intermediaries Association. CEO Chris Burrows said the scheme is actually quite simple. The fraudster just added a dash to the email used by the real company. The thief came in and left with the lobsters. Burrows said this and other seafood thefts are probably linked to an
maybe they really like lobster.
Organized cargo crime ring that is happening across the country.
Wow, that's crazy. Weird. 550-pound black bear has been living underneath an Altadena, California man's home for a month despite attempts to remove it. And now the homeowner is contemplating legal action. What are you going to, like, sue it for being a squatter? Sue the bear?
Once upon a time, there was a bear. Not 3, just 1, but more than enough for a California homeowner. Carter Evans has the tale.
What?
Imagine living with this house guest for the holidays. That's a 550-pound black bear squeezing into a
God, that's a big butt.
Space beneath his home in
He's a big butt boy.
Altadena.
Look at him.
That's a 550-pound black bear squeezing into a crawl space beneath his home in Altadena, and it's been living there for the past month.
I thought this would be over by now.
Homeowner Ken Johnson has seen him on security video, roaming as he pleases. He's called Fish and Wildlife. They set up more cameras and tried to lure the bear.
Come on, go.
Johnson tried to scare the bear by piping in barking sounds, but the Bruin
barking sounds
hasn't budged.
Still going on, and there's no sign of him leaving.
The bear broke into the crawl space right behind that window there, and Johnson tells me he could hear it underneath his house at night, clawing and scratching, and he worries about it.
Have you tried a jar of honey?
Day when that bear might possibly burst up through his living room floor inside the house. Well, the California Department of Fish and Wildlife, they set a trap, and they caught a bear. But it was the wrong one.
The wrong bear.
Now the department says
that's great.
Committed to helping, but it's Johnson's responsibility to better secure the crawl space the next time the bear leaves. Johnson's worried about the legal implications if he takes more drastic action against a protected animal.
People talk about feeling humbled. This is very humbling that there's a bear under my house and there's nothing I can do about it.
A situation that could only be...
I'm sorry, you guys can't see it, but he's like, look at this fat boy. Look at this fat boy.
Called unbearable. Carter Evans, CBS News.
Got an ear tag on. That's funny. It was funny as heck. I love bears. I think bears are the best. Yep. All right. Judge blocks the White House from defunding the CFPB as agency was about to run out of funds. Here we go again. Judge Amy Berman. Not the first time we've seen her. Trump posting earlier today, Paul Perez and the Border Patrol have done a fantastic job and so proud that more than half are of Hispanic heritage. Wow. Which Los Angeles incompetent Mayor Karen Bass, who hasn't even gotten their permits for people rebuilding their homes after a record-setting fire that took place and other third-rate politicians are complaining about. Our enlistment numbers are at records. We'll keep it that way. There is no group I'm more proud of than Border Patrol and ICE, and nobody understands the border better than our fantastic Hispanic population, which continues to make America great again. Elon Musk pushes X to raise creator payouts in bid to challenge YouTube. Well, you're going to have to actually raise them, Elon. Because as it sits right now, they're a joke. A pittance. Nothing. Unless you're one of the special people, one of the in crowd. FBI hiding audio and video tied to Hillary's brother. Oh snap! The gold bug. What's his name? The Haiti gold guy. George.
Why is the FBI still?
What is his brother's name? I always forget.
Walling the release of these records, and asking us to essentially go away. That's what their request was earlier. Hey, you going to leave us alone on this? We told
having problems.
Told them no, and we sued. So when, let's say you're a public figure and you die, and the FBI's got files on you, we ask for and obtain those FBI files. And there have been numerous files we've asked for and obtained on individuals who passed away who have had reason to been involved or subject to FBI scrutiny. One of those individuals that we just, for whose FBI files we just sued for, is Hillary Clinton's brother, Tony Rodham.
Tony Rodham, yeah.
Tony Rodham passed away, I think, in 2019, if I recall, if I'm correct. Yeah, it must have been 2019 because that's when we asked for the records first. And we asked the FBI, give us records on Tony Rodham back in June of 2019. I'll show you, here, let's go to the...
Time can ramble, so we'll move on. But point is, they're hiding audio and video. We got more to get to, though. We're already well over halfway through, so... Incoming New York City Mayor Zoran Mamdani named his pick to be the top lawyer of the city, tapping a former city official who resigned from prominent law firm Paul Weiss this year after it struck a controversial deal with President Trump. The one guy that resigned in protest, huh?
Incoming New York City Mayor Zoran Mamdani on Tuesday named his pick for the city's top lawyer.
Why I'm thrilled to also announce my corporation counsel today, Steve Banks, a name that many of you will be familiar with.
Steve Banks used to lead the city's Homeless Services Department.
Or even looks creepy.
Under the former mayor Bill de Blasio. In April this year, he resigned from the prominent law firm Paul Weiss in defiance of the controversial deal it struck with President Donald Trump. That saw the firm pledge $40 million in free legal services to causes aligned with the White House, in return for Trump's withdrawal of an executive order which punished it for having ties to his supposed political enemies.
If anyone can show a nation betrayed by Donald Trump how to defeat him, it is the city that gave rise to him.
Given Mamdani's ambitious...
Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt on Somali fraud.
Governor Walz is completely incompetent. He always has been.
Oh, it's so much worse than that.
And President Trump has long called him out for his incompetence and his poor leadership in the great state of Minnesota. I want to commend Nick Shirley for his incredible video in Real Journalism that went viral this past week. He epitomizes what new media looks like, and that's exactly why we at the White House, under President Trump's direction, have embraced new media journalists like Nick Shirley. We've welcomed them in to the White House press pool. We invited Nick Shirley to brief the President of the United States at an Antifa roundtable earlier this year. And this fraud in Governor Walz's state in Minnesota is something the Trump administration has been working on since day one. And since Nick Shirley's journalism really brought this issue further to light, we have surged resources across the board to the state. So I want your audience to understand this is a top priority for the administration. The Department of Justice, as we speak, is continuing to execute search warrants and subpoenas. People will be in handcuffs as a result of the fraud that Governor Walz has allowed to occur for many, many years.
Knowingly.
The Department of Homeland Security is conducting door-to-door investigations on the ground at potential fraud sites, and they're also, of course, conducting continued deportations of illegal aliens in Minnesota's communities. We're also not afraid to use denaturalization. That's a tool at the President and the Secretary of State's disposal, and it's one this administration has previously used before. I know the Health and Human Services Department has also announced we are cutting off all child care funding to the state of Minnesota until we get to the bottom of this fraud. The Department of Labor is investigating their unemployment insurance program. The Department of USDA Agriculture Secretary Rollins weeks ago sent a letter to Governor Walz demanding he turn over every single name of SNAP recipients on the books in Minnesota. And the Minnesota Attorney General actually sued the Trump administration for that.
Does President Trump want those Somalis to have their citizenship revoked if convicted of fraud?
Does President Trump want those Somalis to have their citizenship revoked?
That is a key question here.
Does President Trump want those Somalis to have their citizenship revoked if convicted of fraud?
Absolutely. And it's something the Department of Homeland Security, the Department of State is currently looking at right now. It's something this administration has already done. And we know that there are liberal activist judges across the country who will try to block and tackle this administration from pursuing justice at every turn. But that's not going to stop the president and his entire cabinet by acting on behalf of law-abiding, tax-paying citizens in the state of Minnesota and in states across the country who have been ripped off by people who who abused our immigration system, came to our country, do not love our country or respect our values, and now have been ripping off and stealing money from law-abiding Americans. This administration is not going to tolerate it. And again, this is a whole of government effort. We've surged resources. As you pointed out, the Department of Justice has already charged and prosecuted nearly 100 people. In fact, some of the buildings and some of the sites that Nick Shirley exposed in that video are under current investigation by the Department of Justice. One of
interesting.
Those sites, the Midway building resulted in 13 defendants already being charged earlier this year under the leadership of our Attorney General and President Trump. So that is definitely going to continue.
Good. Already been happening. I guess it just hasn't really been reported until the recent insanity going on the last couple weeks. CENTCOM's 2025 year in review. We'll skip it. We got more to get to. U.S. judge orders suspect detained for threatening to kill Rick Grinnell, Kennedy Center president. Federal judge in Alexandria ordered detention of a 33-year-old man charged with threatening to kill Rick Grinnell. So who was this? Suspect Scott Allen Bolger was charged with transmitting threats in interstate commerce. Where's the asshole from? McLean. He lives right by here. Yeah. Creepy. That's CIA territory. McLean. Trans school shooter Audrey Hale wrote twisted pros and cons list before deadly rampage. Oh yeah. Wrote that she didn't want to harm black people. I guess one of the target candidates was a school that was largely black. Whereas she wrote about the white school, I hate white people. Therefore, makes a good target. Hates white people. Is white. Hates white people. Deep fried. Oh wow. She apparently used her student loan cash to buy guns. Guns purchased with federal grant money. Yep. Wow, even did the math. Writing out the amount she was receiving from the FAFSA grant checks and doing the math on how much the guns cost. Dear God. California and Colorado are two of the top outbound states in 2025. United van lines, Trump says. In other words, people leaving. That's what bad governors do to even places blessed with beautiful surroundings and climate. Yeah, California and Colorado, man. Yay. Somali daycare manager speaks to the media after his business was allegedly broken into, claims student enrollment and employee documentation was stolen. Oh, so that's why it's all missing, huh? Someone conveniently broke in and stole all of the documents you need to prove that you're not a fraudster. Is that what you're saying?
Unfortunately, we saw that there was...
Well, he even looks inbred.
Important
they all do.
Documentation, enrollment of the children, and also employee documentation that was gone. There were also checkbooks that were ripped from our check papers that were ripped from our book. This is devastating news, and we don't know why this is targeting our Somali community, as one video made by a specific individual made this all happen. We've been receiving hateful messages through our voice notes threatening us since the past couple of days, including one that happened yesterday morning when after the break-in. This is frightening and exhausting because this is happening to us Somali communities as Somali Americans. We are supposed to stand with each other and help each other through everything that's happening. This is also sad that a video can cause all of this. I want to say that there are hundreds of daycares out there, Somali daycares that are out there, and we all help our children and everyone in our community.
Yeah, that's the problem, sir.
We have high quality daycares, and this is very sad news that one individual who made a false claim about fraud that is happening in daycares, how engaged everyone else to come and do this to us.
I knew they all look like that. I just so funny. Oh wow. Steph, reading my mind. Here you go. Here's a look at the daycare owners of Minnesota. Yes, fine genetic stock. A wise people, a beautiful people. What the fuck even is that? That can't be real. Is that? Oh my gosh. Zoran will become the first New York City mayor sworn in on a Quran. Surprise, surprise. Nokomi's daycare, the Somali daycare who said someone broke in and stole all of their documents yesterday, actually had nothing stolen, according to Minneapolis police. Wait, so what is this supposed to be a photo of where the break-in happened? What did they break in and steal all the documents that he hid in the drywall? Behind the water heater? Not where I would choose to store my documents, personally. Seems a little weird. Nick Shirley says people are telling he's getting threatened by people who are saying that he's going to get kirked. Telling him he's going to get kirked.
Have you gotten any threats? Like actual death threats?
Yeah, well, in person and also.
Can you tell me about that? Like, are they messaging you saying, we're going to get you? What are they saying to you?
Yeah, like they're saying, oh, like, kirked. You're going to be kirked.
You're going to be kirked. That's what they're saying to you.
Yeah, like you're the next. You'll be the
got
next
a Quality Leering Center hoodie.
Kirk. And it's just like, are you kidding me? Because it's not
brilliant.
And like, I hate what's happening right now. Like, I feel bad for my family, honestly, because it's like, yeah, like, we didn't do anything wrong, and yet you guys are coming after me like I'm some sort of villain, right? So I'm like, my little sister's getting phone calls. I'm like, why are you guys doing this?
Your little sister's getting phone calls.
Yeah, from like the news. I'm like, geez, don't talk to my family. I mean, some news in India, they doxed my home. They doxed my dad.
Gosh.
It was really weird. I haven't even told my dad about that because I just don't want to even bother him about it.
Well, Dad, you know now.
But like they put it, like it's just like, are you guys kidding me? Like, why are you guys coming after somebody for going against fraud? Like, I didn't make this a right or left issue. I just showed you guys that fraud was happening, and now you guys are coming after me. You're saying, I'll be the next Kirk. You're literally stopping at intersections and coming after me and trying to attack me. Like, what? Why are you so evil? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, what? Why are you defending fraud? Do you like money being stolen? No. Then what are you doing? You're a racist. No, I'm not a racist. I'm just telling you what the facts are. You guys are stealing money from the people that are working hard here inside the United States. I was literally talking to a black man, and then the Somali man comes out, and he's also black, so I can't understand what they're thinking, calling me a racist. I'm having a great conversation with a black man, and then another black man comes up, and he's Somali descent, and he comes and attacks me for being a racist. I'm like, no, I'm not a racist. It's so stupid. And that's why the fraud has been able to happen for so long, because people like Tim Walz are afraid to be called racist. Afraid to be called racist. And me and my generation, we're over it. Like, we don't care.
Oh, I love that.
Yep.
Buddy.
Like, we do not care. Call us a racist. I do not care, because I am not a racist. We're just seeing that prices of homes are so expensive. I don't even have a friend that can afford a home. People aren't getting married because of how expensive things are. And we're paying so much money in taxes. Most kids are, I'm lucky because I didn't go to college, but most kids are starting their life off behind the starting line. They're thousands of dollars in the debt. And so, yes, we're upset because you guys are stealing millions of dollars and getting rich, and then you're bragging about the white man working on TikTok. Who's actually the racist? You're the racist. You're the one saying the white man, you work white woman, you work white man. We're sick of it. Nobody cares. Like, stop committing fraud. If you're going to be here, be happy to be here and work hard like we're working hard. Whether you're black, Mexican, Asian, white, just go and work. And don't start playing this victim card and start trying to play political, make things political about money, for instance, or don't get mad at people for making money. Like, that's why America is the greatest country in the world, is because of capitalism. And we had 250 years to do it. All these other countries had thousands of years to do it, but they didn't do it. That's why we have to protect what's ours.
Yeah, because they suck. Damn straight. President Trump tells Colorado District Attorney persecuting Tina Peters to rot in hell. Let's read it out. God bless Tina Peters, who is now, for 2 years out of 9, sitting in a Colorado maximum security prison at the age of 73 and sick for the crime of trying to stop the massive voter fraud that goes on in her state, where people are leaving in record numbers. Hard to wish her a happy new year, but to the scumbag governor and the disgusting Republican rhino DA who did this to her, nothing happens to the Democrats and their phony mail-in ballot system that makes it impossible for a Republican to win an otherwise very winnable state. I wish them only the worst. May they rot in hell. Free Tina Peters. Very good. Oh. Beginning tonight through January 5th, a narrative projection will illuminate the Washington Monument every hour on the hour from 7 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. It is the opening of a year-long series of events celebrating 250 years of American independence. Neato. Yeah, I saw pictures of them aligning the projectors on the monument the other night. They had like these goofy like alignment graphs projected up there, like these green and red boxes with like X's in them and stuff to make sure that everything is like perfectly aligned on there. It's pretty cool. Right. House Judiciary Committee drops video and full transcript of Jack Smith's deposition. Ooh, that's something to dig through. Trump's HHS. Yes! Yes! Trump's HHS is freezing child care funds to all states, not just Minnesota. States must now prove that the funds go to legitimate causes by sending in their data to the federal government. Oh boy. The funds will be released only when states prove that they're being spent legitimately.
And fake daycares to siphon millions of taxpayer dollars over the past decade.
Any dollar stolen by fraudsters is stolen from those children. Yesterday, I spoke directly with the director of the Minnesota Child Care Services Office. She could not tell me with confidence whether those allegations of fraud are isolated or whether there's fraud stretching statewide.
In addition to all of the federal investigations taking place, Congress is also now digging into these allegations of fraud. Today,
and fake data.
Good stuff.
Breaking
Trump admin has also placed new sanctions on Venezuelan oil companies.
moments ago, the United States has issued new sanctions on 4 companies operating in Venezuela's oil sector and identified 4 oil tankers as blocked property. The Treasury Department says these ships, some of which are part of the shadow fleet serving Venezuela, continue to provide financial resources that fuel Maduro's illegitimate narco-terrorist regime. Breaking moments ago, the United States has issued
Nick Shirley's right-hand man, David, going full throttle. Nice, someone interviewing him here.
I filed a formal criminal complaint against Tim Walz for violating Minnesota Statute 3.971, Subdivision 9. So there's an investigation ongoing, and I think Tim's going to have a bad day, and he deserves it because he allowed this fraud because he wanted the voting block that the Somalis represent, because they all vote in a block, and it's 100,000, 150,000, who knows how many. But it's so bad now that when we go to a facility, they're already screaming, Nick Shirley, Nick Shirley, Nick Shirley.
Wow. Melania Trump closes first year of her return as First Lady with legislative wins and global initiatives. Yep. Oh, wow. Trump says construction of the Triumphal Arch to begin in 2 months. It's already happening. Cool. Bringing in Tim Walz to answer for the massive fraud in Minnesota. Oh, shit. 2 hearings, answers, accountability. January 7th, Minnesota state reps are getting put up in front, be questioned. And then February 10th, Tim Walz and AG Keith Ellison. Oh, boy. Little year-end video from the Navy. Okay, Trump has officially cornered the Democrats on Obamacare. Then, Republicans, no more money to fat cat insurance companies. The money must go directly to the people to buy their own health care. DOJ seeks to enlist 400 attorneys to review more than 5 million pages of Epstein records. What the frick? To review this, I guess they found
now to the growing fallout.
Yeah,
tonight over the.
I guess they found a whole bunch more. Wow. And they've got to review them all for release. Review of the documents expected to take much of January. Already had 200 lawyers working to review the files. Made clear that the workforce needs more help. Trump admin is gearing up to freeze childcare subsidies to all states. Here we go.
And fake daycares to siphon millions of taxpayer dollars over the past decade.
Any dollar stolen by fraudsters is stolen from those children. Yesterday, I spoke directly with the director of the Minnesota Child Care Services office. She could not tell me with confidence whether those allegations of fraud are isolated or whether there's fraud stretching statewide.
Ooh.
in addition
Wow.
to all of the federal investigations taking place, Congress is also now digging into these allegations of fraud. Today,
and fake daycares to
Former Minnesota resident, just a lady, identifies 5 Minnesota state agencies, all controlled by Governor Tim Walz, that should be investigated and raided immediately because they knew about the Smalley fraud and did nothing.
I promise you the.
Oh yeah, there's no way they didn't know. At a bare minimum, and I guarantee you, significant portions of the people involved were getting kickbacks. They were benefiting from this financially somehow.
these people didn't do it all by themselves. This wasn't done by accident or in a vacuum.
Yeah.
Like they figured it all out on their own. Nonsense. A good many of them barely speak English. Somebody helped them.
Yep.
Well, there are 5 agencies in the state of Minnesota that are responsible for oversight of fraud, oversight of funding distribution.
Mhm.
There are 5 agencies that should have caught this, but didn't. I say they were complicit. You've got Attorney General Keith Ellison, Office of the
Number
Attorney
one.
General, right? Number 1.
Yep.
We know, however, that he has ties to, Muslim Brotherhood, Louis
Sure.
Farrakhan.
Yep.
He placates to the Somali populations for the votes. That's where he lives in that District
Sure.
5, the whole bit. Minnesota Department of Human Services.
Yep.
Currently, Shireen Gandhi is the temporary commissioner. Why? And I think this is important. Because Jody Harpstead left in early 2025. Want to know who Jody Harpstead is?
I'm about to find out.
You are about to find out. Okay, so this woman took over in about 2019 for the Department of Health and Health Services or whatever. And as commissioner, she before that worked for, are you ready for this? Lutheran Social Services of Minnesota. She was the president and CEO of LSS. For those who don't know, LSS is
all up in the migrant scams.
Is heavily involved in the resettlement of refugees. They tend to go to places where there are lots
They are pouring people in the country.
of free stuff and social programs for the refugees. What I'm saying is Jody Harpstead, the Office of the Inspector General, James Clark. Number 3, Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, BCA.
Is that like our Tennessee Bureau of Investigation?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Very similar. Drew Evans is the superintendent there. Oversees investigations into financial crimes and state program fraud. I want to see raids by DOJ, FBI, whoever is responsible
On these groups.
on these offices, because I promise you, if you go in there and do that, you'll find more.
Number 4.
2 more. Office of Legislative Auditor. These are all state agencies that are responsible. I mean, it literally says in their description, identifying fraud risks in state agencies and programs.
Hello.
So there's that one.
And then what's the 5th one?
Minnesota Management and Budget, MMB. Erin Campbell is the commissioner. It's supposed to be internal controls, financial operations, and fraud risk management. Someone has to be complicit in these agencies in order to make that happen.
Oh, a great many someones, I guarantee it. Huh. Oh, wow. The West African countries of Mali and Burkina Faso just banned U.S. citizens from traveling there to get back at President Trump. Oh, no. Whatever will we do? We can't travel to Burkina Faso.
Mali and Burkina Faso have said they are imposing a travel ban on U.S. citizens. That's after an equivalent measure announced by the Trump administration. On December 16th, the White House added the 2 hinterland countries and
Oh, well. Wow. Excuse me. Whistleblower inside DHS uncovered Somali daycare fraud network in 2018, accurately cited $100 million in fraud, and claimed it was funding al-Shabaab. But Tim Waltz did nothing. Wow. Meanwhile, in Iran, in Isfahan, protesters head towards the central square chanting, "This year is the year of blood, and the regime of Ali Khamenei the Butcher will fall." Wow. Huh. Iranian people have taken control of the IRGC base in Asadabad. Yelling something about Khamenei there. Iran's security commander eliminated. Reports from Iran claim Mohammad Khosari, intelligence and operations commander of the Imam Hassan security unit in Kermanshah, has been eliminated. Qasari was reportedly involved in intelligence, arrests, and suppression of protests in western Iran, including Kurdish areas. Incident comes amid nationwide unrest, bizarre strikes, and escalating protests. Independent confirmation still limited. Appears to be in a hospital of some sort. Okay. Walwell says if he's elected governor of California, he will make sure federal agents are charged with kidnapping and assault and will take away their driver's licenses. Wow. Okay, Jack Smith deposition. Rep. Eli Crane announces investigation into reports of a Somali man with a Minnesota license flying through Phoenix every 7 to 10 days with $250,000 in cash. At least. The most they've seen is $1.6 million. It apparently goes to Sudan and Somalia through Dubai. What the frick? Huh. So this is some tip that came into them, I guess. Had a guy come through TSA Phoenix with over $350,000 in cash. How did this... I thought you weren't even supposed to be able to fly with over $10,000 in cash. He had a Minnesota driver's license, and he had paperwork for customs in Dubai, and allegedly had paperwork saying he's a courier. Yeah. While my supervisor left the private screening room, he told me openly that families in Minneapolis are sending loads of cash back home to Sudan and Somalia, and it gets distributed in Dubai somehow. I can tell you something about this. These are known as the Hawala networks. The Hawala system is an ancient informal method for transferring money based on a vast network of brokers operating outside traditional banking channels. It relies heavily on trust, personal honor, and kinship, which of course exists among Muslims, between themselves, between Muslim to Muslim, rather than legal documentation or institutional oversight. How it basically works is they have they'll have a guy here in the U.S. that will accept money from someone that wants to send the money. So he'll take the money and he'll deposit it in his own bank account, and then he will phone an associate overseas that is like his business partner, and will tell them, okay, go ahead and disperse money to the person that they're sending the money. So they're like a kind of like a middleman. Yes, like the one guy takes the money and then his partner lets go money overseas, and they pocket a little bit. And these places are everywhere, certainly all over here in Northern Virginia. Believe me, I've been looking. There's a fuck ton of them. They even have brand names. What was the one give me a second. Found the one I just saw the other day. Darn it, did I not save it? But yeah, I found this oh, hold on, I dropped a pin. I know that. Find it that way. There's like a whole crap load of these little places tucked in this one little area. Where all these Somalis congregate. All right, where's the patient? Finding it. I'll have to dig again later. But that's why I know about these. I was digging into this last night. So I found these freaking, like, every time I turned up like a weird adult care or patient care spot, there happened to be one of these transfer places right next door. Literally. Weird. Hold on, let me look at the street here. It'll show it. Or you know what? Let me just try searching money transfer. I turn it up. Let's try doing that. We'll do it on PC. Okay, we want place Kulan Cafe. There we go. Rhea, there it is. Rhea. Look at all this. See this one. Yeah. There they are. Oh, look at that. Physical therapy, patient care. Same is true of a number of these other locations too. If you look into the history of this Rhea money transfer place, here we go. Subsidiary of Euronet Worldwide, Inc., which sounds, oh, European, right? Oh no. Oh no. Central Bank Nigeria listed Rhea as one of their approved international money transfer operators for diaspora remittances in March 2021. They have a lot of connections in Africa. Same thing with the Kenyan government. Partnered with Postbank, which is owned by the Kenyan government. This allowed customers to send money through any of the bank's 99 branches or receive it directly into their accounts. And I think if you just try searching for Hawala, you'll turn stuff up. Yep, there you go. Banana Pay. Located in Somali Mall. That's where I'm going. Guarantee you the same kind of stinky ass shit's going on around here. All right. Yeah, we got like 2 more. Cool. As I posted yesterday, Julie Kelly says the indictment against Brian Colt Jr. was handed down by a grand jury in D.C. Superior Court, not D.C. District Court. Well, screw Julie Kelly. We'll just watch my video. Happy New Year 2026. Not bad. Good stuff. All right. Well, I think Salty and Cook are here.
We are.
So take the wheel.
Well, no, this is not a 2025 round table.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna pop out for a bit and then come join you guys. So.
But look, I was here to put that link in, that Libs of TikTok link in, because the lady talks about the Somalians going through TSA, and they had like suitcases of money.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, that link in Zoom.
More
Yeah.
on that? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me. I'm gonna go pop upstairs for a little bit, then I'm gonna return and join you guys. And YouTube, I will definitely stream it. Gotta figure out how I can do that. I can like leave it up so you guys can keep going on YouTube while I'm gone. I don't know. The only problem is I have to like keep screen sharing to get audio. It's weird.
Oh,
So
that sucks.
Yeah, I got to figure out a way. I got to figure out a way around that. Frustrating. I think I got an idea. So I'll we'll go down for a bit, YouTube, but we'll come back up here in just a minute. I think I can figure it out.
You gotta see this. You gotta see this before you leave. It's 20 seconds.
Cool. Yeah. Shoot. Let me drop my share. YouTube. We'll be back. And
YouTube. Bye.
Yeah. Bye.